Let's give it up for our main dancer, Jasmine. Whoa!
Always better than the Flash up to a certain point kind of thing, but it was always the Flash's ingenuity and like just his fast thinking, and because he's so smart he always tried to set up a trap or just outthink him one way or another. Or like my best one I remember was an animated movie. I can't remember which one it was.
Justice League Flashpoint Paradox?
Maybe that was, I think that was the one where he uses the, Thawne has, he sets the rogues up at a trap for Flash, and he uses that vibration explosive plastic, and so Barry's like, once he realizes that's on him, he's like, oh, I can't phase through it, so he just spins around and throws it on Thawne. He's like, okay, no, you can't do anything either, now what? Like,
that was cool. That was cool.
Exactly, you know, and so it's one of those, like, that obsession from wanting to be Barry, realizing I can't be Barry, so I gotta kill him, you know, that whole fanboy mentality is what drove all this.
That, and if we're going to talk about that, we got to talk about Flashpoint, though.
Yes, that was amazing.
Flashpoint was absolutely, absolutely one.
Loved it. Thomas Wayne.
Wayne with
the
that was
guns.
oh my God.
That was the reset just before the New 52.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
that was another. That was a. That came in. Infinity Crisis came in after that, right?
I
think
think
it was
Before.
I think it was after, I want to say, Infinity Crisis.
I don't know, DC. They suck.
But yeah, it's the multiverse stuff. It goes, they have it was Crisis, or I think it was Crisis, pre-Crisis, then it was like Crisis, and then there was like Crisis of Infinite Earths, then Blackest Night, and then the New 52 stuff. And so Blackest Night was like right before the New 52, and that's because they wanted to kill off a bunch of characters. They wanted to try to reset a bunch of the Lantern stuff with Blackest Night, because it's like things are getting a little bad.
Yeah.
And well, that was the whole concept of 52 is let's get rid of all these multiverses, condense everything down, take the best from each story that we can work in, and start a new line.
Yeah. Which
So
is good.
they call it the New 52. What does that actually mean?
Well, the New 52 means like it's 52 titles that they're restarting. So I think it was like Superman, Batman, you know, the Green Lantern.
So
they've
pretty
actually
soon
used-
it's not going to be the New 52 anymore.
Well, they used New 52 before it was New 52. They used the number 52 a lot, and I think it was because it was one of those references to like the studios where they started, like Studio Suit
is that
52
what
or
it
something
is?
like that. I think I can't
okay.
remember fully, but I know like because I remember reading stuff pre-52, and they're like, yeah, there's 52 portals open or whatever. And I was like, F guys, come on, like,
Right.
you know, it's like. So it was one of those, either they were planning on doing that way before and just kind of like hinting at it. Like,
Okay, see, that's I had thought when they were doing the New 52 that they were releasing 52 titles.
That was also the other reason they
Was
did it
it?
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's both. It's one of those, but they love everything that's 52. If you watch the new Flash show, when those warp realities started popping up, they're like, "How many are in Central City? Oh, there's 52 of them."
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
caught that.
dude, come on.
But honestly, that Flash show was kind of what got me into wanting to read this.
Yeah, if you
This is
want an
great.
intro to comic books before really getting in, especially DC, watch The Flash and the Arrow, because they do a good job of slowly introducing these concepts of metahumans, magic, and superpowers in the realm. Because like you start the Arrow series, everybody's a standard villain with like technology or something. I got really cool gloves or some sort of device or weapon to kill somebody. And then like as the show progressed and once Flash came out, they really started to introduce people with superpowers like most of the DC universe.
DC does some good stuff with television.
They're great with television. Movies are kind of depends on what they're doing.
I like their animated movies that they make.
Those
Yeah,
are
those
bad.
are-
I love
Yeah.
those.
Justice League
those
War,
are
how they
awesome.
did that. Flashpoint Paradox, Son of
Doomsday,
Batman.
Doomsday, or Justice League Doom. That was a good
Yeah,
one. I
that
love
was
how they
good.
did that one.
Yeah.
That was also like an alternate universe in a way because it was one of those, the way they showed all the Justice League starting to get together. Darkseid's invading, and Green Lantern comes across Gotham. He's in Gotham just flying around chasing after one of Doomsday's, or Darkseid, sorry, I said Doomsday. Darkseid's demon guys that fly around. He's setting bombs, quantum bombs around the city. Batman's chasing them. They come across each other and they start fighting because Batman immediately assumes Green Lantern's the one setting up this high technology.
Right.
He's never came across them, you know?
Which is really cool about that series. Actually, the one I bought from that movie came with the JLA 1,
Yeah.
the New 52, and it
Yes.
follows it to the T.
Yeah,
The
nice.
only differences between the two is there's no Cyborg, and Aquaman replaces Cyborg in the comic.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
comic,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I noticed in the movies they tend to put Cyborg in the JLA over Martian Manhunter a lot more now. They kind of got, they just kind of eliminated Martian Manhunter.
He's not visually acceptable.
No,
I mean,
people don't
he's
really like
a
that.
great character, so don't take that the wrong way. But he just doesn't look.
Well, that's the only thing.
Martian Manhunter is kind of like the conscience of the Justice League.
Yes. The one thing that I do like about Martian Manhunter that nobody ever seems to realize that he is just as strong as Superman. He is just as strong as
Yeah, that's
Superman
true.
just about every way. He's got what's called
Even
density
more
control.
so, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he can make his own body and molecules much more dense and do a stronger punch than what Superman could. I can't remember what it was that it was a What If, or it was in The Blackest Night, but I just remember Martian Manhunter chasing after some people, and he had gone evil, and they went and hid in a building, and he's just angrily kind of yelling out, and he's like, why does everyone forget I'm just as strong as Superman, and punches the building, and the whole building just flies all over the city kind of thing, you know, like...
It's because he doesn't show
The
it.
new JLA series, they have a little standalone issue, number 4 I think it is, and it's all about Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
And they're showing a little backstory. He's out in Death Valley, and he's kind of pondering what's going on. It's, like I said, it's a little own separate story, but he ends up going to Tokyo, where he was working as a detective. And one of the fellow officers there bring up a point of, oh, you remember we were lining up, or we were setting fire to those Chinese lanterns. And he kind of gets a little standoffish. Now I don't want to get back on that. Let's get back on point. And
Yeah.
that was a pretty good story. Just a little standalone. He ends up fighting this alien called the Unknown, and
What do you know about it?
well, the way they explain it, because Martian Manhunter's asking him, well, who are you? I'm trying to link with you. You're already in my head, but I can't link with you. He said, well, I've already forgot my name thousands of times over. I've done this so many times, I can't even remember my original form. Wow. So when he ends up revealing himself, it's some nasty, I don't know. You guys just have to check it out, because really can't put it into words. It's messed up, but it's a good standalone title for him, or issue, I mean.
And again, I don't know a lot about DC, but I did read some stuff about. I read a lot of like character bios and
So you
stuff.
go to the wiki, you're going to
Yeah,
spend
yeah.
an entire week just reading about Superman, 20 pages on his entire history.
Yeah.
Like,
So I do a lot of that reading, and I did read somewhere that said that Martian Manhunter's weakness is actually a mental block. He actually doesn't have any weakness. He is the perfect being in the DCU, but he actually, when he sees fire, it scares him so much that he shuts his own powers down subconsciously.
Oh, the reason for that, and they do kind of hit that on the Supergirl, is that they had a war with like white Martians, depending on the thing, on the lore. But the common one is like white Martians and green Martians have this war against each other. The white Martians have superior technology, and it's just like explosive fire traps they placed all over Mars. So like what it was and the way they did
his, like,
Supergirl.
family die or
Yeah,
something?
in Supergirl,
Yeah.
this is what I hated about the Supergirl line, because they have Martian Manhunter in it, and they introduced the first white Martian, but apparently there's thousands of them, but he was like almost as strong as a Kryptonian as they were fighting him, so it was like, how are they going to not bring Superman in on this series with all these white Martians and freaking Kryptonians running around? But the thing they did, which really kind of was lazy writing though too, they made it into a Martian Holocaust. So all the white Martians literally grabbed all the green, put them in internment camps, starved them, tortured them, burned them, and like Martian Manhunter watched his own family die in front of him with the fire traps, and so it's one of those, a mental block like that is because that mental anguish of his family dying.
Yeah.
And the mental blocks, bringing that up, the one thing I did love about Superman is, he can survive space, but he didn't always know that. He had a mental block on himself too. Like if you guys remember some
Well,
of
he
the
still
older
does in the New
cartoons,
52.
does he this
Yeah.
time? Okay, so they redid that. That's good. Superman got trained by the villain Mongol for a good portion of time, and Mongol's like, you gotta break this. It's all in your head. You can survive. And like he would throw. Every time Superman went out in space, he'd pass out because he'd mentally block himself. I can't breathe, and so he would black out like he's supposed to. Until Mongols just like sink or swim and just threw him out in space, and it was just like, you're either gonna wake up or you're gonna kill yourself with your own mind. Like,
Wow.
Well, that's a really cool dynamic of Superman's character too, because they do have him as this like limitless powerful super character.
You could throw a supernova punch.
But let's not forget, because Superman is limited too. Like he, obviously kryptonite. That's the one gift.
No killing.
No killing. But he also has weakness to magic.
He did, yes,
Yeah.
he is, but he did slowly overcome that as well. And
Was
he
that
had
another mental block?
another mental block that he slowly worked on. Like
See,
characters like
that's-
Zatara and like Dr.
Mr.
Fate
Mixiplex?
and all them kind of. Mixoplex was just there to mess with him. That was just like a pure comedic character. I loved him.
But that's exactly what I was saying, is that he is this omni-powerful, super powerful god being. But the way the writers can make you relate to him is that they give him these mental blocks, so he's not actually all. Like in, what was that? What was the new Superman title we were reading?
American Alien, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
So he gets shot in the face with a gun, and he actually bleeds from it.
Yeah, that was
He
So
does
he's
cool.
He's actually way more powerful than that, but he's just a kid at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it.
He hasn't developed. Either he hasn't developed, or they're trying to retell the origin to where maybe he's not so overpowered.
Even if he's not.
I thought about that the other
that's
day.
great.
Yeah.
They had that remake of Superman that just came out. The first one before the Batman vs Superman.
Oh, you mean the
come
one
out.
where he
That-
snapped the guy's neck?
Yeah, Zod, which did happen. He did kill Zod because Zod put him in that position. So pretty much the only person Superman's killed was Zod because it was one of those, I'm going to kill them if you don't kill me. So make your decision now because I'm not going to stop until one of us dies. And so Zod was pushing that point, and that's where Superman, that was like that momentous struggle for Superman to realize, I have to kill sometimes to save the, for the greater good. But at the same time, that's also that morality of like, I never want to kill again. That felt awful,
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that movie.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, I got off with your growing up as Superman. The one thing I really liked was father goals. I wish I could be as good of a father as Jonathan Kent to be able to teach this kid who could just literally punch another kid and blow him to pieces to hold all that strength and anger in. They have that flashback where all the kids were beating him up, and he's like, "Are you okay, Clark?" And he's like, they can't hurt me." He's like, "That's not what I'm talking about. Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Have you read any of the American Alien yet?
No, I haven't. I really want to now.
That's an excellent series, man. It really is.
If it's like
really
covering
has-
him growing up, I
that's
really want to see that. 'Cause
dynamic.
it's like, you got to think about that too. A 12-year-old getting ganged up on by everybody in school, and you want to do nothing but fight back, but if you do, you're going to expose yourself and possibly kill them.
The
Like,
first issue has Clark sleeping and he ends up flying.
yes,
and
not in
And
control of
he's
his powers.
terrified. Absolutely terrified. And his mom is terrified for him. And that's the whole dynamic. That's everything
That
about
humanity
that.
aspect of the superpower alien.
Guys, you gotta check it out. It's a great
American
series.
Alien is
Go, I'm tired of Vibe being the strongest Mexican or Latin hero in like this Justice League, and that's the thing, is that a lot of people don't realize how strong the Vibe is too. Vibe is the only person that can make the Flash lose his powers. Flash runs at a specific frequency, Vibe controls sound waves at whatever frequency. You put two polar opposite frequencies together and you stop him, so he can stop the Flash dead in his tracks.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and guys, if you're gonna watch that Flash TV show, remember the name Vibe.
Yep.
That's all we're gonna say.
Yep.
about it.
All right, well, I guess that's it for today. I'm Chance. That's Mac, aka Darth Bacon. Joe,
Joby.
thanks for being here with
Yeah,
us.
of course, anytime.
And this is Tony. It's just Tony for right now.
No nicknames.
Later on, we're all gonna vote. He's gonna have one next week.
He's not gonna get a vote.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Post your comments down below. Look for Moon Knight in April. I didn't get to pitch that.
My buddy just bought the 3 volumes of Moon Knight to read, those 3 that they had from the last stuff, so I'm just starting to read Moon Knight.
So you're
I'm
getting
excited.
Moon Knight from
I'm
10
excited
years
for
ago?
this. Yeah, I'm getting
Okay,
all
you're
the
gonna
little
love
runs of each separate run of Moon Knight is in its own little volume, so
Nice.
I should be up to
Cool.
date for that stuff.
But we're expecting that in April. So like I said, post comments below. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See?